Hey everyone, and good morning. Feel free to ignore my hair. Today is going to be a long day. We are redoing our entire closet, and I already started, and yeah, I know, I decided to start vlogging it pretty much at the very beginning after I already ripped out the carpets and all that. But let's go over everything and what we're going to do. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and you give this video a thumbs up. Let's get started. This closet originally had carpet in it. And essentially what we wound up doing was, it smelled, it was stained, it was ugly. I ripped it up, and in ripping in carpets, you have the under foam. So we took the foam off, and then on the outside, it had that track with all the nails in it, and we had to pull all that out without killing our hands. Essentially, it came out great. We cleaned it out because there was colors everywhere, and we got it down to this point. Now we're putting in wood floor that's going to match this because we've got about 100 square foot in the basement still of this flooring. So we're going to put it in here and pretty much allow it to go the same direction. So that means I have to put a little bit of a spacer in between the floor and the new wood, which is this little thing here. This was left over from the house before we got here. Turns out that this wasn't enough. This gets me to about here, and that leaves all that. So instead, I decided to buy a new one. So we're gonna put this one down. And once this is in place, we can start laying all the wood. The funny thing is, that's not the hard part. The hard part was getting all of this out and figuring out this space. It is 6 by 6, but it has this weird little like curve because the door is here. So no matter what you're doing, you're losing space. And of course they have those counter cabinets here, but no matter where you go, those cabinets are like, what, maybe $500? It almost looked like the estimation just to do this closet in some kind of shelf, what it costs is at least $1,600. And I think that is absolutely ridiculous. No one should be paying that much. I don't know why someone would. I mean, to get custom cabinets built in here is only like $2,100. So you understand that, like, it doesn't make sense in my head. So essentially, we went on everywhere, from Pottery Barn to Container Store to Lowe's to Home Depot to IKEA to figure out the best pricing. The best pricing overall was IKEA, but everything is sold out. And I don't mean like sold out in one store. I mean everywhere, and for months. It's currently April, and we've been looking since December, and at least 4 of the IKEAs near us. We're talking about Newark, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and then I think there was another one in mid-New Jersey. It's like right outside of, maybe it's Paramus. Yeah, there you go. And nothing. So the next step was figuring out what we can do about the corner and then everything else. We got a lot of things to hang, but when you have a corner thing, I mean, you put that little bar there, but you have to have cabinets on each side. It gets confusing really quickly and you lose a lot of space. We came from a New York City apartment. We really don't have much stuff anyway. We have like full wardrobes, 1, 2, 3, and one more over there. But we need more shelves. So essentially, we went to Lowe's and bought those, what they're called, container maids or something like that, Rubbermaids, and measured it out, and we figured out how we want to do this. So in the time being, I'm going to remove all of this stuff, finish the floor, and then start putting and building those things in here. It's going to be all day, and you're coming along, because why not? Anyway, let's get to it. As I mentioned before, I got to take the other one out because it doesn't fit. So, and it's funny, because at first I thought this was some kind of flooring. And no, that's what the underlining for. And the worst part is that I'm literally missing finishing this whole thing by like another 3 feet, but to buy the other thing is $44 and this other one was only 20. So it just makes more sense to go with the other one. And this is what the floor looks like. It's after I cleaned it, by the way. Really yucky. Anyway, this one should fold right in. So let's give it a try. All right. That part is scored. Let's put it together. The underlay looks good. Remember, you gotta tape your stuff up. I just have regular tape to put on here. Now it's time for the flooring. Yeah, I'm gonna line them up to here essentially and then buy other mold and put it on top. Now lucky for us, we have 2 boxes of this original flooring. The hope is that we have enough to do this whole space. So I'm gonna pretty much get it to a certain point before I gotta cut it, because I know I'm gonna have to cut it, especially going this way. Let's get in here. Since this is a new house and I never had real tools before, I went to Lowe's and got myself some saw so we can finally start cutting this floor and put it into place, right? Come on, it's taking forever. Ooh, new tools. The smell of them. It smells better than a new car. So what I'm doing is I'm measuring out different sections. You have 3 different sizes here. They're not supposed to match up like this. This one, I'm just gonna leave like that. It's gonna be under a shelf anyway. But I'm measuring things out by remembering that these little teeth have to be at the bottom. They go in this way. And they've got this much space up there. So essentially, I swing it up here. I measure up how much it is. And then this one was like 6 5/8. And then I just measure it 6 5/8 this way, put a marker on it. So this is the part I'm keeping, this part I'm not. I'll probably use it for a different part. And then I get some tape, and the tape gets put on the side that we're keeping so that the wood doesn't splinter. And then I'm gonna cut that right over here. So now the hope is that I cut this perfectly to size. First I'll take the tape off. Make sure the wood's not damaged. It's gonna go under molding anyway, but oh, it looks good. Cut it perfectly down the line. And then I gotta shimmy it into place. And oh my God, I'm that good. I am that good. Whew. Sometimes I wonder, why don't I do this for a living? I'm so good at it. Keep it nice and tight. We have these things in the corner. That's looking good. I am roughly an hour and a half in, and I only have half of the floor done. Only because like this vent here, it's a pain in the butt to cut. Everything else is going in so nicely. I'm not gonna complain about that. Just you vent. Pain in the butt. Well, after about, let's say 3 hours of work, I'm not gonna lie to you, we finally finished. I think it looks good. Look, I think it matches this one well enough. There's a piece over here. I have to retrim this to put this corner piece in. I didn't know I had it in the basement because the original one that I had taken out was this, and this obviously is for carpet. It would never fit here. So I went in the basement like 10 minutes ago and saw that, and I'm like, oh, now I have to retrim this. I'll just, sit this at the right height and just go down the line, trim it off, put that in, nail it down. And then I still have to get molding, put the molding around here, caulk it, and then I may not even put the molding in yet because I'm still gonna put those shelves in here. Still a lot more to do. And I'm not gonna make this a part 1 and part 2. It's gonna be one video, so get ready for the next part now. It's another day and it's the same closet, but here's an update. I was able to finish out the wood flooring and cut the line down. And I actually found a bar that fit there perfectly in the basement, so I was able to trim that down and then pretty much install it here. Minusing out all the dirt. It actually looks pretty good. I think so. We got trim we're gonna put out here. One thing you gotta remember is the wood will expand, so you have to leave a little bit of space, just a little bit, just so that it's, looks somewhat put together and so that it can expand and then contract. Because right now it's winter, so it's together. In the summertime, it will expand, which essentially will move in each direction, this way and that way, so you have to leave a little bit of space. I just put it this way just for now, and I'll add a trim once we're done with the shelves. I took down the construction shelves we had before, left a lot of giant holes. So I took them down and I started filling the holes. The holes were so big, like you can see this one over here, it's a little blurry, that I had to, why is it blurry here? Whatever. I had to essentially caulk them. So I caulk them just to fill them in, and I'll go over once that's dry with some patch and paint. And then I can paint all this up and start installing the other shelves. It's funny how you don't realize how many days this actually takes. It's not like a one-day thing. The floor is one day or 3 hours. And then I could have knocked this out, but then I had work at night. Remember, I'm still working at night and sleeping 4 hours. Like today I woke up at noon, but then worked until 5, and now it's 7. So 7 got me to finish this and do this. Now I'm waiting for that to dry before I do the patch and paint, and then paint it, let it sit for an hour or 2, and then bring in the shelves. Fast forward about 2 hours because I had to work on some other stuff, and look at this. You can see all the holes are gone. There's something like this one I want to repaint, and I added in this Rubbermaid shelf. It's 2 of them, and eventually we're gonna put, you know, hangers going this way and hangers going this way with more shelving and things like that. But this is the about halfway point, I guess you could say. I still have these in here because I didn't buy the trim yet. You have to leave a little space once again so they can breathe. And then there's one I didn't really like how I did, so I went up sanding it back down and then spackling it, and I'll sand it again and then paint it. But take a look. Yeah, I'm surprised at how good it turned out as well. Once again, there's some things I definitely want to repaint. There's like one over there. There's like one over there. I think maybe one in the corner. And then I still have that thing I gotta take care of. But it looks good. Oh, and I put this plate on too. No, it doesn't creak. And just like I said yesterday, no reason to make this into multi-parts. So let's go to tomorrow. And like this, I'm pretty much done. The shelf is anchored, everything's good to go over here. I installed her 2 new poles. I am gonna get a 14 by 44 piece to go this way on top so we can expand that top shelf here and there. Add in these doors. She already started putting all her stuff in here. Add in these drawers. So doors and drawers. Add in some shoe racks for her. She's got a lot of shoes. This little shelf here is going to stay open. I'm actually going to order probably one more of these for me to put in here to put my bow ties and cufflinks and things like that. I didn't put anything away yet. Also, the bar that came with it was too short. So this is 51 inches. The biggest it comes is 48. So I have to get a custom bar. I'll figure that out another time. And then, of course, get a 51 inch going this way by 14. And then put those brackets up to continue that shelf around the entire top. So for today, we're saying this is done. We added in mirrors. I'm going to put a chandelier up here. So today's done. In a week, there's going to be more work in here. So for the sake of, once again, not doing another part of this video, here you go. It is part 17 of this video. It's not, it's like part 5. And I finally was able to get correct bars at 52 inches. I pushed these out another 1.5 inches. So now it's at, this is actually about 17 inches. So the shelves I was going to buy will not fit here anymore. So I essentially didn't buy them. I did buy all the extra pieces for it. We'll hopefully find another one at 17, if not they have 15, which would leave a little bit of a gap, but it is what it is, and we'll do that for another day. But now it's time to finally put things on these shelves. Pants, shirts, shorts, well, pants and shorts, and then shirts up there. Well, that's not. And now it's time for part 1 million because I finally finished. I brought stuff in and I also changed out the light. It doesn't look good from this angle. But here's the tour. We've got this gold mirror outside in the door, which is annoying because every time the door opens, it wiggles. I'll fix that. Inside, I got Julia's stuff, all Julia's stuff, my stuff. We added a few things in here. I added a drawer of mine. I really don't have much stuff to put in here. These are just sweaters. It's just Julia's like spring, summer stuff, and this is like her winter sweaters, and this is just all mine. That's it. And then I added in this light fixture, which, let's see if we can actually show what it looks like. Oh, there it is. Ah, that's pretty, isn't it? That is nice. So thank you guys for joining me on this never-ending project, which is my closet. I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. We've got so many projects ahead of us, so please subscribe and check out the playlist for our house because a lot of things going on here. Anyway, see you later. Bye.